Right, I'll have to be quick with this unboxing because I'm outside, there's a thunderstorm brewing and I'm stood under a tree. But this has been a very kind gift from my wife for my birthday, which is in a few days. Now you might remember I made this a while ago and it was my very first water landing. Well, the design that this is based on is another version of this one. So it's about the same thing, but it's got wings on the side. I've always wanted to have one of these actual ones that can take off from the water, because over there we've got quite a lot of it. In fact, if I pan up slightly you can see the state of the sky, and we've got this thunderstorm moving in. So whether I'll be able to fly it today, I don't know, but what I can do is unbox it. And here is the Galaxy ship. Here's my hand for reference on the size. So it is kind of sizable, and these things do look like quite a lot like the mini storm launcher from about 2007, and I really enjoyed those things. I really got a lot of use out of the storm launcher. So yeah, the weight, it's rather a light thing. They have an 800 milliamp battery in there, LiPo. Here's the instruction manual. Here's a quick scan of it, detailing how to use the controller, which I'll have to find, yeah. And then on the other side, oh, there's some thunder. There we go, more details. So, let me see what's included. So we've got the plane itself. Underneath, here we are with, oh wow, okay. There's the charger and 2 spare props. Regular USB charger, another 2 spare props, and 2 batteries, which are in fact 800 milliamps each. Quite the sizable thing. So where's the controller? Aha, it's underneath. Okay. Good bit of packaging really for space. And there we are. There's the controller. So I'll get some batteries in, including these. One of these into there. And give this thing a fly, depending on the weather. Right, I've moved indoors because of the weather, but I still have to do the battery stuff anyway. So, they do give you a little Phillips head screwdriver, take the canopy off, and you can put the battery in. I'll be charging that up with the included charger. And the remote takes 3 AAAs. The plane itself does feature what seem to be 10mm cordless. I don't know if my finger's any good as a comparison, but that's quite the size of cordless motor. And it also has 3 channels, so I've got elevator control, and that actually puts it above, in my estimations, the other similar type of plane to this that goes on water as well, because that one was only 2 channel. So we'll have to wait for the storm now, and we can get it out there and try it. Well, as you can hear, there's still a storm going on, but it seems to have passed. Anyway, let's get this fella out on the water. So, a bit of a voiceover here. First of all, sorry about the quality of this camera. It's the hat cam, it doesn't do very well in low light. But there's plenty of different angles coming up from different cameras. I was running 4, and I'm glad I did, because this thing flies really amazingly. Wow, this is amazing. See if I can land it near to us. Boom! The landings are just so easy to do. You just drop the throttle down and just float it in. And away we go! That elevator really helps as well. God, it climbs. I agree with Slider there. It will just really rise easily and dip easily with the elevator control. It didn't need any trimming either. I just set off like this and flew it. Just floats around at about 1/8 of the power. Also, there are 2 mode rates which I didn't use on the front right of the controller. So it's got low rates and high rates. Perfectly fine in low rates for me with this Maiden Flight. Oh! Oh no, ditched it. Now, as you will have heard anyway, it hit the tree. But you can hear the gyro going. The stabilisation, which is really cool. Right, we'll send it back up again. Now there, a flight round the tree and back out again. The house deck was only about 3 feet away to the left. Well, this was cool, going underneath the dock. I enjoyed that. But then there was something of an interesting event. What I did was I pulled the elevator back, turned left fully, and it did a corkscrew. Whoa. That was really surprising. A bit of a trick I don't know if I could do again. But it's so controllable and so stable, even with a couple mile-an-hour wind. Woohoo! Touch and go. To the point of that touch and go. Very pleased to do that. Alright, we'll bring it back in. Fantastic. And there we are. Absolutely amazing. Alright, back indoors, and as you could tell, I had an absolute blast, and I hope you enjoyed that flying. Another thing is, because I did ditch it upside down when I hit that tree, I thought to myself, I best use some of this. This Corrosion X stuff protects from corrosion, and so I sprayed a little bit on both of the motors and also onto the servo arm, and that should hopefully protect things in the future in case it doesn't fly for a while or there's humidity, whatever happens. So yes, a very, very enjoyable maiden flight. Here are the specs, by the way. Just show you that. Makes it easier than putting it on the screen. So yes, a 3-channel plane with a gyro, 2.4 GHz, absolutely no issues on range, which is really, really good for flying around out there. And it'll also take off the ground, from the ground, as well as from the water, and you can actually just hand chuck it as well. But that is one heck of a plane for my kind of flying. You know, some people like the 4 channels, like the scale things, like the bolts or whatever. This for me just suits. Okay, well, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.